Lake County has been working to consolidate its 911 system. The county has been moving forward with a combined dispatch center, which will house most of Lake County's 911 services. Two communities have held out, though. Sherrville and Cedar Lake are forming their own system, though so far they've not been able to work out an agreement that will satisfy the state. To find out where we are on this, we have County Commissioner President Roosevelt Allen. Commissioner, welcome.
Oh, thank you, Steve. I'm very honored to be here to appear on your show this afternoon and to enlighten the viewers about what's happening with the County 911 Department, the County 911 Commission, and how we're moving forward.
So this is something that was mandated by the state. They require all counties to consolidate down to one system here. And Lake County's been kind of behind the curve. Of course, Lake County is also... it has more entities than most other counties. Some 18 entities have to consolidate. And then you have these two holdouts here who have not wanted to join on, Sherrville and Cedar Lake. We've actually had some of these folks on the radio. They're kind of hoping that the Attorney General's office might facilitate a meeting so everybody can kind of get together and come up with an agreement. How are negotiations going right now?
Well, at our last commission meeting, and that occurred on April 23rd, the commission voted to send another letter of request to those two communities to start meeting again and start the negotiation process. And so far, we haven't received a response from them. We are aware that they sent a correspondence to the Indiana Attorney General to ask that the Attorney General or one of the deputies come in to act as a mediator. It's my understanding that the Attorney General's office up to this point has not responded. You know, I don't understand why they would want to come in to try to mediate the differences between the local governmental units. The Attorney General has already rendered an opinion. Those two units of government asked the Attorney General to render an opinion concerning the interlocal agreement. The Attorney General's response in writing was that we have to have one interlocal agreement. And that's something that we knew beforehand. And so we have that opinion, and we're waiting to start the meetings again, to start the negotiations.
Can the county just go on without them?
Well, we won't have any choice. If they're unwilling to meet and if they're unwilling to negotiate, then our only alternative is to go on without them and to potentially enter into litigation and let the courts decide.
And you would have to sue because there's the issue of what? The $2 million?
There's the issue of the $2.6 million that's being held in escrow. And
that money comes from cell phone and
the
landline
cell phone
usage.
and landline uses.
You pay a little fee, and that's supposed to go for things like 911. Right now, Lake County's not getting it.
All of it goes for 911. That part of the fee, it's a 911 surcharge, and so Lake County, we're not getting our a 2.6 million. At one point, one juncture, they were talking about reallocating it to the other counties, but we were able to ward off the legislators, and in the final hours in conference committee, they decided to simply put the money in escrow until the communities in Lake County could come together and have one interlocal agreement.
And according to the president of the Sherrville Town Council, you guys haven't met since November, since before the General Assembly. I think there was some hope that maybe the General Assembly might change the rules. Doesn't look like that happened. But why?
Well, the counties, we've tried to meet with them.
Okay.
They are unwilling to meet with us. We've made several efforts. We had, in the past, had scheduled some meetings, and they were canceled by the representatives from those two units. And so we're just in limbo right now. We can't force them to meet with us.
All right. So is this going to make Lake County safer? The whole having one combined center, is that what we're getting to? Or is this, you guys are just, you're forced by a state mandate to do this? Or is this really going to help public safety?
Well, Initially, the officials in the county and the other elected officials in Lake County, we felt that it would not. But since the process has began, and we're more familiar and oriented with the process, we realized that the whole purpose of the legislation was to make the 911 dispatch system more operationally efficient and in the best interest of the taxpayers. And a lot of the features of the system are features that we don't have on our existing system, and those features help the citizens that are out there in distress tremendously.
And the biggest part of this is, after this is all done, everyone will be able to talk to one another. That's one of the keys. If there's a tornado in Crown Point, everybody will converge, and they'll be all be on the same system.
Everybody will be on the same frequencies. Everybody will be able to communicate in real time. Police officers that are on a chase following a car as they move through different jurisdictions in the county. All of the officers will be on the same frequency. They'll be able to communicate in real time. You won't have an incident where two police cars run together because they don't know, one car doesn't know where the other car is. They'll know where the assailant. They'll have real time information as far as where the assailant is, what direction the assailant's going in, and so it'll be very good for our public safety officers, and it not just for police. It'll be great for fire. The system
ambulance,
will be able
all
to
those things in an emergency.
If firemen go down into basements or areas that traditionally they would lose communication, we'll be able to communicate with them.
All right,
it will penetrate all of those kinds of barriers, all kinds of structural problems that they've had with buildings and other structures.
The hope is significant improvement. But you're not quite there yet. You've got all the dispatchers hired, but right now they're working in all these different communities here. You haven't got the center quite there, and you don't have all the towers up. Where are we with getting the system up and online?
We've gotten all of our permits, and as we speak, we're starting construction on the remaining 2 towers. Once those 2 towers are completed, we'll be able to move our dispatchers into the dispatch center in the county. The dispatch center, the consoles are there, the computers are there, the software is there, everything is ready, and it's just a matter of getting those 2 towers up. And once those 2 towers are up, we can move everybody into the center and turn the switch on.
So how soon do you think that's going to happen?
Probably before, I would imagine that it will happen before July 1st, yeah.
All right. Oh, so really, you're less than a couple months away. You think you've got this now?
Yeah. Well, our problem was getting some of the permits, FAA permits, FCC permits. We had to get some permits from the Army Corps of Engineers. We had to get some things from the DNR, and so that permitting process takes time also.
All right, so from the physical side, you think July 1st you've got this done. When it comes to reaching an agreement with Sherrville and Cedar Lake, you think ultimately this is just going to end up in court?
Well, it may. Once the towers are up and we consolidate physically into the 911 center and we start using the 700 megahertz system, then there will probably be some urgency on behalf of those 2 units to start the negotiation process again, and they will probably want to do it in a pretty rapid manner. If not, then we will end up in litigation. We may have to, if we start our system up, we can't just shut them out, because I mean, the citizens that live in Sherrville and Cedar Lake, they are county residents, and as county officials, we can't just place them in peril. And so we would probably have to allow them to come onto the system, and we just go into court and litigate it, and we let the courts decide what their costs are going to be.
So, because everybody has to pay for this system.
Yeah, everybody has to pay. They can't get a free ride. Yeah.
All right, well, that's where we're going to leave it, at least for right now. Commissioner, President Roosevelt Allen, thank you so much for being on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm.